Where are we going to start?
Yeah, I hear a little echo.
The software will edit the echo out. It does a pretty good job.
You are a liar.
Butch bought a speaker, or excuse me, a mic for like $16 off Amazon.
Paul,
My phone is.
Paul, you go to the track on Saturday?
I am undecided yet. I may be at the air show.
I might go to the air show on Sunday.
Yeah, it's Mother's Day, so I got to figure out what's going on.
I want to see the Blues.
Who do you want to see?
Blue Thunder.
I don't think he's going to be there.
What is it? Blue Angels then? Or what?
No, the Thunderbirds will be there.
The question is, will Maverick be there?
Possibly.
So I'm monitoring our recording, and it's showing me at 95% uploaded, Paul at 66, and RGB at 87. So it gives you like a running percentage of the upload.
That's convenient.
So I wonder if Butch's phone died or something.
I just took mine off Wi-Fi to see if it uploads quicker. But yeah.
Oh yeah, it's up to 82% already. What? Can you throw him a text and see what's going on? I mean, if he's not going to be with us, we'll do the show without him.
Let me see.
Oh wait, here he is. There he is.
Oh, is this a mobile studio?
Yeah, it's going to be. I was like, oh, it worked so good until you guys got on.
We thought maybe you missed the church event again.
No, I'm sitting there trying to leave a goal.
Well, listen, before Butch ditches us, let's get this out in the open with our first season of episode 1. Did anybody figure out what the name is?
Well, I got a couple names, and only 3 of them are probably worth the crap. But the first one that came to mind were Sliders Who Slide. Or however you want to term it, RC Sliders Who Slide. The other one was The Truth Behind the Pit.
Do we
And then
want to
my
know what the
third-
truth is?
Then my third one was Drama Behind the Lens.
Drama behind the lens. Well, the truth behind the pits won't work because it sounds like an X-Files episode.
True story.
I think you can abbreviate it to OTC, Oval Track Crash.
There you go.
I heard Paul get it right. So Paul, I mean, he got the assignment.
Yes, it was pretty simple. It's right in the planner email that Eric sent us. Getting started.
The agenda.
Why am I not
Started.
why am I not surprised that Paul cheated and copied us someone else's homework?
Well, who'd you copy off of, Paul? So, well, that's what it is. It's getting started. So that's the name of our first episode.
Like it. Love it.
It hopefully reflects us 4 old men getting started in the hobby and doing something even dumber by starting a podcast. So we'll see how it works.
I like it.
I love it.
So
Just for the record, if I have a lot lizard knock on the door, I will include you guys. I am in like the sketchiest area I've ever been in.
well, I can edit that out, but give me some crossroads of where you're at.
So I am by interstate lanes, I can door interstate lanes, and I'm in the back parking lot of the Knights Inn.
Nights in, are they even around?
This one still is. If just FYI, if we ever get bored, they do have rooms by the hour.
Excellent. Good to know.
Thank you for that PSA.
I mean, non-sponsored, not a sponsored ad there.
Oh yeah, Nights Inn's gonna hit us up hard now.
We can probably cross them off the wish list.
We already lost Eric.
That was 5 minutes ago. My camera's lagging so far behind. That's when I opened the den doors to try and get some more Wi-Fi service.
Is that a thing? Did it really work?
Apparently not, because I'm still 5 minutes behind. But my audio is good, which is what matters.
They just maybe
No.
get service to keep up with the download of live streams.
Might be time for you to get a new phone. Get rid of that cricket phone, Eric.
That you know darn well this isn't Obama. Sorry, we're not talking politics. My
Yeah.
bad. So, anyways,
I think they call them government prepaid phones now.
government prepays.
Yeah.
Rick,
Yeah.
just curious. Rick, not Butch.
Okay, I'm gonna go by Butch. I just want to clear that up. Okay.
Okay, well, we'll call Rick RGB.
Okay. Yep.
Do your clients have prepaid phones?
Mostly no. That's not a big of a thing anymore.
Well, how are they getting by? Keep it clean. It's a family show.
They save money other ways. They're smart phones, up to date.
Well, listen, I gotta do some introductions so we can keep it moving on. So we're not here all night. We got to kind of move through those things on the sheet so that this can actually be somewhat related to RC and oval racing. So the big thing is I want to talk about the season opener a week and a half ago at TARCAR on 4/27. So we can talk about that. RGB was absent. I don't know. He was sleeping in bed. He claims he was on vacation. I don't believe him. I think he's afraid of the competition. And I'll be surprised if we see him all year.
I was in a training course out west on remote control and the psyche.
Did you keep receipt?
I plan on coming on Saturday with a sense of calm and steady nerves.
Was there by chance a workshop at this event about battery management?
We're going there already?
I'll keep fun.
We're just getting going.
Batteries charged.
We can do a whole episode on preparing for the main.
Of what not to do 30 minutes before main.
Exactly. What not to do and what to do. So, but Rick, RGB, you did miss a good day. It was a pretty fun day. I dominated everybody until I got assassinated in the mains. But I've got a backup plan for that to never happen again.
He speaks the truth.
How many people were in that modified class?
7.
That's all right showing.
Yeah.
Got,
the first one, yeah.
If I show up and pull up 9 or 10 people at the next, that'd be all right.
Well, I'm hoping we get to the point to where they split us up into 2 classes because it was, in my personal opinion, there was a whole lot of cars on the track at one time for the qualifiers, and it was kind of hard to get your own elbow room.
I like it when there's 6 or more cars at one time. Provides for a little bit of chaos and more fun.
Yeah, it's hard to get a groove when you're constantly dodging cars.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that.
No, we can't. Nope. Nope.
Pretty small for a phone screen.
Yep. Nope.
Well, your flip phone, what do you got? A 1.5-inch screen on that flip phone, Rick?
Size doesn't matter. That's what my wife says.
It's on my Nokia.
Well, let's see here. The entry list for opening day was 50 entries with 30 drivers. So obviously people were doing double class.
From a business point, I'm astonished that I never knew these numbers existed. I think they had 63 or 65 drivers on Saturday for the off-road section, and then another 30 for all. Like they had almost 100 drivers for the weekend at TARCAR, and I am so proud of Northwest Ohio because I never knew those numbers existed up here.
Yeah, it sounds like, this is my second year. My first year in oval, but my second year in RC racing at TARCAR. And it sounds like it's picking back up and getting big again. And the track people, Steve, the owner, and everybody that helps them, I guess, has been working really hard at getting it to grow again. Hopefully we can contribute to that trend.
Was the entry fee $15 for the first?
If you're a member.
And then
Yeah,
$5
for
down.
oval, I believe it was $15.
All right, making sure.
Rick, RGB, I can give you $15 for Saturday if you're hard up.
I'm gonna need 30 because I'm gonna race 3 cars if I can get all of them dialed in tomorrow.
Well, let's get you through one successful day with your batteries, and then maybe you can graduate to 2 cars.
Yeah. We will, the Langendorfer clan will not be in a participation this Saturday. We have about 7 things planned on Saturday, and we need to cut it down to 3. And the racing is not one of them.
Yeah, you were off talking to somebody at your window there apparently when I told the other guys I wasn't going to make it Saturday. I'm going to be out of town.
Okay. Yeah, good deal.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if Paul's going. He's on the fence. Rick's going to go. RGB's going.
Yeah, for sure.
He's going to represent the group.
Yeah, I plan on being there for sure. I said I'm hoping the track will be right out enough tomorrow. Testing all 3 of my.
All right. Well, we can talk about that in our next episode. You can tell us what we missed.
Yeah.
I got that Chevelle body delivered, so I won't use that this Saturday. My old body.
Let me burn through these real quick. There was a couple box stock sprints, which were the low seeds. We saw them run.
Those are sweet. Yep.
Yeah, they're sweet. They look like they needed about 5 more cars.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a stock class. I agree that if you get 4 to 5 in a class or a heat, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. The only concern I have with those cars is they look so fragile, but that could be just because I don't have one and I haven't driven one. But I have a feeling there's not a whole lot of elbow room on those things.
Yeah, I don't think they're as fragile as you think. Probably the bodies make it look that way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's a couple there, a couple of those cars. The Spec Traxxas, what do we got there? 7 drivers. We were in that class.
Yep.
Short course modified, they had 6. Street stock had 7 entries.
Yeah.
A short course late model, that's 5 guys. Which, by the way, 5 guys opened up by my house, just so you guys know. So I'm probably not getting any skinnier.
I'm with you.
Late model and street stock on Saturday, in addition to the
All right.
modified.
Late model had 13 entries, so
Short course, late model had 13.
Those guys are quick. I think that's what the class we had to Marshall. Those guys are quick.
Yeah, I think
There's the late model.
I think the street stocks. Let me see, short course modified. No, the short course modifieds were pretty quick. The street stocks were fast. The late models are fast. That's the one with 13 entries. And the last one is the mod sprints, which those are fast. And that's probably Paul's future. Don't you think?
Paul doesn't want a car.
What's that?
Said Paul doesn't want a car. He has to work.
I was saying that the mod sprints are probably your future.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
The low C, I might be interested in one of those low C ones if I could get it cheap enough. Start out with that and then move my way up to the other sprints.
Yeah, if you can pick one up like I picked up that modified for like half price almost. So that's probably the way to go if you can do that.
Absolutely, because some of those guys that run sprints have quite a bit of money in them.
Yeah, but that's all part of what we want to talk about. We want to talk about all that and working on these cars and the box stock classes and whether it's worth it to get into the next jump up, because it is work. It's a lot of work. So we'll talk about our class. We'll burn through all classes. The box stock sprint results. Let's just jump to the mains because we don't have enough time to talk about all the successful heats that I had. or anybody else. So we'll just talk about the mains. The mod sprint main, the B main, Nick Staller pulled that off, starting from the 4th position. Mark Cohn took 2nd. Dave Brock took 3rd. He started 5th. He took 3rd. Marvin Davis took 4th, and John Stevens took 5th. Looks like, I mean, they all were 30 laps. They got one guy. Well, the 5th place guy didn't run.
I don't think he ran right. Yeah.
Didn't run, but the top 3 were all on 30 laps. So let's look at his laps real quick. They were running 6.5 second laps. 6.4 was his hot lap, which was considerably faster than what we were doing. So let's see, the 10 scale B main. Nick Lethal, he won. He started 7th. Mark Cohn took 2nd. Dave Brock took 3rd. Frank Vollmer took 4th. Steve Brummett, that is our track owner, he took 5th. Dave Wiley took 6th. And James Norte took 7th. And Scott Snyder, who didn't look like he ran, took 8th.
I believe there was a carnage on that one. I believe like lap 10, all heck broke loose.
Okay. Let's see. The third main was the box stock sprints. That was the 2. It was more or less an exhibition race, in my opinion. I watched this one, and they were both on the same lap, but I think it was. I could be way wrong on this, but I think it was like 3 or 5 laps to go. This Don Hassan. Well, it's showing here. Well, I'm wrong. He led the whole thing. I thought he took the lead toward the end. Maybe that was one of the heats. He led start to finish. So he's got a hot lap at 8.1. So that's in our ballpark with the modifieds.
Yeah, that's right up there. I felt like they were on the same speed we are. I agree.
And Tom Tingley. Is Tom, Paul, is this Tom? Is he the one that was in our modified class?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so he took 2nd. Moving along to the 4th race. That is the Spec Traxxas Modified A main. And if you notice who's starting first, take a good look at who's starting first, because that's not where I finished.
If you ain't first, you're last, Ricky Bobby.
I was last, baby. Tom won that. Tom Tingley won that. Let's look at his laps real quick. 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 2nd, 2nd. First. So about the last 5 laps he led. Hot lap of 8.1, Tom. Paul Rulin, who is that guy? Took 2nd. 8.2. He's got a hot lap of 8.2.
Someone jumped the start, but we don't want to get into that.
Whoa. Somebody's throwing accusations around in here. Paul was 5th, jumped up to 2nd. Rolled around in 3rd for a while and didn't like that position, so he moved up to 2nd. Finished 2nd, 30 laps. Eric Kroll, whoever that guy is, yeah, there's his laps. Let's close that and move along. Nothing to talk about there.
Now, wait a minute. I feel like there's a story here. If you started on the pole, what happened to you?
Yeah, I don't think he ever got out of turn. I don't think he got out of turn 4.
I ate my Lucky Charms, and that got me through the first 3 heats, but my Lucky Charms wore off in the mains. So I actually did really well. I'm a little confused because I started on the pole and I led every lap, but they've got me 3rd and 2nd right here. I don't remember anybody passing me. So I believe I led the entire race until right around, where'd they go? Right here, lap 25 and 26. As you see, I pulled off on the roadside and took a nap and watched everybody go by me a few laps and then decided to finish the race. And you can see that based on my chart right there. Which
I think one of those incidences where we rubbed a little bit. There wasn't a whole lot of impact. But I'm still learning with this car that there isn't a whole lot of leaning on these cars. Like physics rules that 2 light cars cannot occupy the same space.
I mean, I thought it looked like 2 birds mating. That's what I remember.
Yeah, it's funny because you get in like real world modifieds, you can kind of lean on that rear corner a little bit and kind of push it in. With these RC cars, there is no pushing that corner in. If you push that corner in, they're going for a ride.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tweak my car much all day. I did move around on the track a little bit. I was really good in the turn on the right, which is the south end of the track. I was not as good on the north end by the woods. And Tom Tingley, I believe, was a lot better on that turn 3 and 4 than I was. I don't know about you guys where you were good at, but I was struggling with 3 and 4, and I was great on 1 and 2.
I guess
So I
the
don't want
woods
to.
is where I've always been better.
I don't want to age anybody, but I had the same thing to where when my eyes are going to the right, like from left to right, my eyes don't keep up with the front of the car. And so, like, for me, my corner on the right will be what it'd be 1 and 2, I guess, because the loop's on my side then. So it'd be 1 and 2. I was struggling on that side because my eyes weren't keeping up and my entry point was constantly different. But I had no problem with like back stretch 3 and 4, and then front stretch was fine. But yeah, as soon as I came around to the loop and then 1 and 2, my eyes wouldn't keep up with the front just because I'm gonna say I'm old. But yeah, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it.
Well, it was a fun day. I mean, I had a blast. So let's burn through these real quick. So that was the modified A main. You win some, you lose some. I've never won any, so that's my saying. The 5th race, the A main for the short course modifieds. Let's see. Nick Lethal won that. He started second. Jerome Brooks, we all know him. He's very fast. Let's see how his laps were. He started 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd. Pretty consistent. 6.6 hot lap. Let's see what Nick's hot lap was. Well, let's see. They didn't make it easy on me. I mean, 6.21 up here is probably his hot lap.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, so he led the whole thing. Brandon Phillips, we know him. Brandon is who I'm going to have paint my Euro truck.
Yeah, I contacted him. I'm going to take my truck to him on Saturday and give him my paint.
And quickly, what is your paint scheme going to be?
I'm going to, my fleet of cars is always orange on top, white on the bottom.
Is that because it's a slow moving vehicle?
Whoa. So that went over my head. Did he say an orange triangle?
Yeah, I thought I heard something about orange. It's like a warning to the other drivers.
Well, Rick did grow up in Neapolis in the country, so they had a couple acres out there.
I'm just ruling racing has had a target on my back from the very beginning. So figure if I put some orange on it, they might avoid me, but so far that strategy hasn't worked out.
I didn't even race against you at the Seagate Center, so something must have worked.
We can put some red flashers on like the Amish buggies if we need to.
Orange is an easy color for me to track. While racing, no one else has an orange car. That's why I chose that color.
All right. Well, there's Brandon's laps. Let's see, 6.5 for a hot lap for him. 4th, 3rd. He was pretty consistent. Tim Hammer, 16 laps. Something must have happened to him. I don't know what happened. 7.3 for a hot lap. I don't know if he pulled his car.
Yeah, I think he pulled it. He got squirrely. He got squirrely and just pulled it.
Okay. And then Nick, 11 laps. So I don't know what happened there either. Maybe they took each other out. Who knows? I did not get video of the whole day, so I can't go back and look. The 6th race, A main, the street stock A main. Jerome Rooks. Now listen, we're gonna have to. This Jerome guy. I mean, he cooks a mean hamburger, but we're gonna have to inspect his cars. I'm starting to wonder about this guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He's quick.
Power's dialing in my car, so that guy knows what he's doing.
Well, you're going to get inspected also. Huge red flag right there, Paul. Rick's relationship with
Jerome. Tech time for RGB racing.
That's right. But let's see, Jerome started first, dropped to third, back to second, and then retook first and held on for about 8 laps or so. Tyler stuck 30 laps. I'm not sure if I know what car he was in. He had first for majority of the middle of the race there, and then after Jerome went around him, he stayed in second. Scott Snyder, we know Scott, 30 laps. He was in the mix, 6th, 7th, 4th, 3rd, and he held third for almost the whole race there. 7.2 for a hot lap.
I think we should clarify. It just dawned on me that these were 30 lap mains, so that was the target number we ran.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, that wasn't a. It wasn't. I know some of these events are timed. These were 30 lap. I think there was 25 qualifier, 30 lap.
I think you're correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, like James Norte. I'm not quite sure. I'll figure out how to say that. He's in 4th. He hit 29 laps. 3rd, 6th, 4th, 7.2 for a hot lap.
But these hot laps, these hot laps are impressive because it just shows that any one of these 7 guys can snap off a quick lap. They're right there.
Yeah, it's keeping it consistent,
well,
obviously.
Right up until you showed him.
Well, is Dale the older gentleman in the overalls, Paul?
No, I think that's Stevens.
I think that's Stevens, yeah, because he ran with us. I think that might be the kid.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got 2 sons that race.
Okay, all right. Well, Dale had a hot lap of 7.6. He started in 5th, got up to 4th a little bit there, dropped to 6th, and retook 5th, dropped to 6th, and back to 5th. So looked like there was some racing going. There probably some hiccups there with some cars running into each other. Well, let's see. So that was Dale. Tim Hammer, 27 laps. 6 for a hot lap. 4th, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 5th, 6th. Yeah, he bounced around there. Looked like he had some rough laps with some people too. Kind of like us. Chris hit 24 laps. 7.5 for a hot lap on his 3rd lap. So he was doing good the first few laps, and then looks like he fell to the back a little bit there. Couple rough laps there. Well, let's see. Let's keep moving this along. Race number 7, short course late model, A-Main. Let's see what these laps are. Craig Sobecki took first, dropped to 3rd, back to 2nd, reclaimed 1st, and held on to it for about 10 laps. 6.4. Yeah, he had a big hiccup there, but once he calmed down, he kept 1st place there.
Hey Eric, I don't want to bust your bubble, but if you look to the right side, it tells you your fastest lap without having to do all that.
Tells you your what? Yeah, I know. I'm running through them for our. You just chased our audience away. What's wrong with you?
Well, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was all in on this for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I just looked. I'm like, well, it tells you the fastest lap right there.
No, yeah. No, I'm just looking at consistency instead of going right to the graph and all that stuff. I mean,
okay,
it shows
continue on.
Yeah, it shows you everything. It shows you your average, top 10, your 5s, all that stuff. But
I had to bring a little comedy in there. Okay, continue on.
No, all right. Yeah, Craig, John took 2nd. I think that's where he left off. 7.086. That's a couple quick laps right there.
Dude, that was a race right there.
Yeah. Tyler stuck 3rd, 27 laps. Hot lap of 7.01. So a couple of these other guys, Jerome didn't race. Well, yeah, they didn't race. Mark didn't race. So let's jump ahead to the Mod Sprint A-Main. Let's see what these guys are doing. Chris Keller won. Tony, he's an off-road guy. He's pretty fast. 2nd, Steve 3rd, Jason 4th, Nick 5th, Brandon 6th. I think I watched that. I think he had trouble in that race.
Right.
Yeah, 6 laps he broke or 23 laps. He broke or something. I can't remember.
You gotta look at those. The top 5 guy fast laps are all.
Yeah, 6.0
Yeah.
for Chris. See what Tony hit, 6.2, fourth, third, second. So he took second on the last couple laps there. Steve Brummett, first. Man, he held first for a while. Second and dropped to third on the last lap. Let's see. And Nick, let's check Nick out. 6.2 for him. So ran fifth about the whole race. All right. So that's the mod sprints. Late model, A main. Rob Markle. I believe he's a finish line guy from Indiana, I think. Jason Brown took second, Tony third, Nick fourth, Craig fifth, and Mark sixth. Jerome did not run.
So Mr. Markle, I'll age myself a little bit, but I actually met him like 25 years ago when I first got into RC racing. I ran, and it was called, I think it was Black Swamp Parking Lot Guys. I forgot the name of it. But we used to race in front of the old Ryder Hobby Stop, the old Hobby Stop West. They would race in our parking lots on Saturdays and Sundays. Robert Markle was the man, along with Casey. That's why I know Casey as well. Those two guys ran in that series, and it was on-road electric. They took everybody's money, lunch money at that time. And so it was kind of nice to kind of like jump back into this for that weekend and see these guys still doing it. Casey was the MC there, a master of ceremonies. And then Robert Markle still got it, man. He's still fast.
That's cool. So yeah, Rob won obviously from your story there. He's been racing a hot minute.
He's been racing for a while.
He ran second the entire race. 6.3 for a hot lap. Tony third, fourth, third. 6.3. Nick fourth, third, fourth. 6.4 for a hot lap. Let's see what Craig hit. Fifth, sixth, fifth. And he's at 6.3 for a hot lap. And Mark is 6.5. Sixth place finish for Mark. My mouse doesn't want to cooperate. So that's it. A little more time than we needed to spend on that. Thought I'd run through those real quick so we could talk about who showed up at the opener there for Oval for 2025.
If I talk too much, somebody yell at me. But yeah, I think it was a pretty impressive turnout for. I came in with zero expectations of what I was expecting, but then like seeing how many people, seeing the amount of effort was put in for just a points race was mind-boggling.
Yeah,
I even think the turnout was a little lower than what they had for most of the races last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of short course late model. So I'm surprised that many are in the course. Last year, like only 4 or 5. So I think a lot of people are built cars over the winter.
Yeah. Bear with me. I'm having camera issues. Not quite sure what happened to my camera. Let's see here.
But what'd you do 5 minutes ago?
Yeah. This has not been happy since I started, and I don't know why. You know, this thing is just not cooperating. As long as my audio is there, that's what's important, because I can doctor up the rest with some pictures of me on the beach in my Speedo.
I was going to say Danny DeVito picture, but we'll go with that.
That's a hard pass.
Let me try one more time. On the phone.
Oh, we got something.
Let's see.
You got a lot of trust in that camera. You're just winging it wherever you want to.
Man, I don't know why this has got to be so difficult.
Rick, what are you watching? Because you are in depth in whatever you're watching.
Right now, I'm watching gas.
Well, that's what our viewers they're tuning in to watch Rick RGB, Rick at Rick, watch TV. I believe
You got to have a gimmick.
That's a good look right there, up my nose.
Maybe everybody, Rick, Butch, I need you to go to a side profile for a minute so we can all be side profile for the camera the whole time. Eric, you too.
I did, but you won't see it for 10 minutes. Yeah, my camera is, I'm going to try one more thing. Watch this. Let's do one more thing here, and then we'll try to burn through the rest of my sheet because we are obviously not sticking to it.
Is that cool?
Reconnecting. Anyone?
Oh, where are you at? What collective shop are you at right now? I feel like your background is what every dude wants in their house, but never doesn't have the guts to ask their wife or girlfriend to have it.
What are you asking, Rick?
What's your background? Like, are you at a bar or is that your basement?
No, this is the man cave.
Good Lord.
It's my Ohio State Buckeye helmet, autographed helmet collection.
That's awesome.
There's my NHRA diecast collection. Got a little more over there.
Good Lord, dude. Okay.
Some more over there.
The wife girlfriend allows you to have that? Does she know this room exists?
I get the man cave in the basement.
Okay.
My gosh, why is this giving me so much difference? All right, well, let's burn through this. So, real quick, since our introduction and our season opener discussion lasted a half an hour, I had some questions I wanted to ask everybody, but we can get into them in the next episode. It's just about the hobby and some other things. I don't know if you guys, anybody want, Butch, you kind of touched on your racing history a little bit. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit real quick and what you want to do in the future. I know Abby, your daughter, raced. I don't remember seeing her name. Did we talk about her?
No, we didn't. No, she finished she finished seventh. I'll just give you a quick background. She's 9 years old. First time ever touching an RC car was about 2 months ago. And then she just kind of like jumped in the races here and there and progressively is improving to where now I have the confidence and like she can go run her own heat without my help. She actually won the B main of the Toledo Glass City RC show. She won the B main due to technicality of a battery being charged incorrectly.
She would have won anyway. Doing a good job.
Was it RGB?
Bazinga.
I was sworn to secrecy. We made a brother pact that we would never discuss it. But the smile on her face, like the only reason I'm doing it is it's just finding quality time. It's 2025. Anyone with kids knows how hard it is to find quality time to spend with your kids.
Right.
This is like the perfect opportunity to where her and I can just go hang out, and it's not something we have to do. It's not like obviously the initial investment in RC cars is a little grand. You know, it's a little steep. But what these tracks is modified, it's $400 and you're in it, you're racing, and you have a car that's, I'm not gonna say like destructible, but it's damn near indestructible. Because I've seen some stuff with these cars that any other car would have broke. But these cars are pretty tough. But yeah, so now I got her, and actually I'm gonna head home after this, and I'm gonna surprise my 14-year-old son. His Traxxas Modified just showed up today, so he's gonna be getting a car. So we'll have 3 Langendorfers running in the TARCAR series. And if we win, cool. If we don't, cool. We're just there to have fun. We don't care.
Very nice. Do you have any children in the IT business? Because clearly I'm struggling.
I do. I'll bring my son, my oldest. He's Richard the Fourth. He owns a graphic design company. He's 22 years old. 22, owns his own graphic design company. Borderline computer genius. So I will definitely get him in the loop.
Well, he's probably going to tell me that my internet sucks.
Well, that's typically. Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?
Well, I could do that, but I'm afraid I wouldn't get us all back together.
Right. Well, that's the extent of the IT that I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me do something real quick. Let me see.
Eric, while you're screwing around with that, like you guys, Paul and Rick, how did you guys get into it? Like your friendship, how did your friendship start? Like you guys have known, you three known each other longer than you guys have known me. So how did you guys get together?
I started out, Eric invited me out to an off-road race because he started running off-road last year. I came out and took some photos of all the guys running on the off-road track, and Traxxas was just getting ready to release this modified, and it was going to be a box stock class. So I thought it would be a fun class to get into and not break the bank. Like you said, about $400. You need a battery and a charger, and you're pretty much competitive with everybody. So I ran last year and then got one of the low-C NASCARs over the winter time and ran some indoor carpet, running the modifieds on dirt this year. How about you, RGB?
Yeah, I just I got the card, so I was looking for a hobby to hang out with buddies. My other hobby is solitary racing. Is more of a part-time job than fun. So this was a nice change. Same reason as Paul got in on stock class, and now I've just two more cars for TARCAR cars for BG in the wintertime.
Yeah,
That's back.
yeah. I'm back. I don't know what's going on. Can't quite get my whole beard in this picture, but I don't think anybody cares. No, I really enjoy racing with you guys. So that's I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things when I started racing off road last year, I had an old GoPro 7. I stuck it on my hat. I looked like a nerd at the races. I was wrecking everybody. I was horrible, but I had so much fun that I just came home and watched my races, and I almost, not as much, I say this all the time, I almost enjoyed recording the races more than I liked racing. But that's what led me here. And my goal with this show is to get people involved in the hobby. Originally, I thought I was on a mission to get older adults in it, but really everybody, like Rick, after we met, your kids are getting involved. I've got a son that's almost 13, and he doesn't get out much, but I'm trying to get him out to the race more. So if we can spread it a little bit, the word, and get it out there, I think people that like racing, all of you have a race background. We'll talk about that in a minute with Paul and RGB. But I'm a huge race fan, and I can't explain enough how much fun it is to go out and compete. And when you two got involved, RGB and Paul, I was pretty happy and excited about that. And I just have been telling everybody, if people that loved racing if they were to be exposed to RC racing and they actually did it, they'd never quit, because it's so much better than watching it on TV. So having said that, RGB, while your mouth's open, why don't you tell us about your dad a little bit?
My dad raced from when he was late teens all the way almost to 70. He was in the NASCAR circuit and the sprint cars. So he was a pretty accomplished back in the day. You would have really liked that. I'm out.
And I'm sure your dad and Paul, your dad, Paul, tell us about your dad quick, and then I'll say what I gotta say.
Oh, my dad ran USAC midgets. He started out on dirt and then transitioned to pavement. So he ran ARCA, USAC, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio area from 1974 till 91.
So a couple years.
Yes.
I'm sure they had all the camaraderie and all that stuff. What I like about it is, now don't get me wrong, it's a chore. There's a lot of work that goes involved with RC racing and getting ready, and when you're at the track and prepping your cars, and we'll talk about all that in our future shows. But I, in my adult life, haven't had something so exciting to look forward to that I can remember. So it's a fun time. Good time.
I feel like it's right up there your birthdays and anniversaries as a married man, those are the days you look forward to the most per year. And if you're a married man, you know what I'm getting at. And we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, because you're talking out of both sides of your mouth right there. So I'm on the same page. I don't know. Your wife is not watching this show.
Oh, she will, but she'll shake her head.
But
That's the positive of doing podcasts for 12 years as a professional fisherman. She's heard it, she's seen it, and she's shaking her head about it.
Yeah. Disclaimer for our new viewers, which is everybody, because we're new.
Number one.
Butch was kicked out of the fishing series for putting lead in the fish's belly. I don't know. It made national news. You've probably heard of him.
I mean,
listen, I am fine. Butch, you can put as much lead in your RC car as you want.
Yeah, well, we're going to attack the heck out of his car.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, everybody. Rick.
After I figured out you could buy trophies, I became great at everything.
Yeah, there you go. No, I'm gonna clear the air. Butch did not get caught putting lead in the fish's bellies. He got away with it.
Yeah, I got away. I sucked all by myself.
Oh shoot. All right, well let's move along here because we've been here an hour. I'll edit some stuff out of this. Nobody wants to look at my face for an hour, but we don't have any tech talk really lined up. We're going to get into that a little more in the future, what we're doing to the cars and what we're trying and what the responses are of the cars. I don't want to be real tech heavy, but we got to have some tech involved. So there's going to be some racing highlights. I don't have a whole lot from this last weekend. I'll put a few laps in the podcast so people can see some of the practice laps and some of the race laps and just give them an idea what the classes were and stuff like that. And then real quick, Saturday, we talked about that a little bit. That's an upcoming event for TARCAR. That is the trophy race, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Nope, Saturday.
Yeah. Correct. So I won't be there. I've made a commitment to go pit for somebody in Nitro who is getting ready for some big events. I'm going to be slinging some nitro fuel around a little bit and get my feet wet with that. But other than that, anybody got anything?
I think this is plenty of time for the first tryout.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's going great. Did you guys hear that the gentleman who won all 4 classes at the Silver State?
Do we care what?
Did you hear that the gentleman, I think his name's Miles. I think his name's Miles. I have to Google. I have to look that up. But the Silver State last weekend, he won all 4 classes. He won both nitro. He won the 2-wheel drive nitro, 4-wheel drive nitro, 2-wheel drive buggy modified, and then 4-wheel drive buggy or 4-wheel drive buggy modified. Won all 4 classes in the Silver State.
Let's see the Silver State. Yeah. So this is the J Concepts team report. So 2025 Silver State. Let's do this quick. I know Rick's trying to go to bed, but he's just gonna have to. He's gonna have to tough it out.
Is that the video I sent you earlier, Eric?
Okay. Yep.
The Silver State
with some local racers that have come to TARCAR before. Tater.
This one.
I don't think I saw it.
That guy no.
Yeah, so this is Mason Fuller. He's obviously pretty accomplished.
I think they said the rumor is it's the first time it's ever happened.
Okay, no. So I've been busy at work. Paul can attest to that. We work together. So spoiler alert.
Yep.
But no, I did not. I think I saw it, but I didn't really process it. So I'll have to read that article. But yeah, Mason Fuller, that's pretty cool. So you're saying he's the new Young Money?
Yeah.
Definitely Young Money.
Young Money. So all
we
right.
Could say
well,
Brian Kinwald, if you want. You guys you don't know if you ever ran. He was the man back in high school. When I was in high school, he was the man. R.I.P.
Okay.
But yeah, Brian Kinwald. There's numerous low-speed chassis named after that guy. But he was that's who he is.
Gotcha. Excellent. All right. Well, it was a decent night. We will work on our agenda, and I'll pump some caffeine into Biggins. I'll drive over to his condo and drop him off a latte, fruity, whatever he drinks.
What do they call that?
It's
Frappe
like a
latte.
goat
A frappe latte, whatever.
Listen, quick story. So I'm gonna have to get a second job because I was jonesing for a fancy coffee one day at work. So I left North Campus, which is in Toledo. Not that anybody cares, but I ran to Dunkin' Donuts. I squeezed my company vehicle through the tightest drive-through on the planet. Thought I was gonna have to call a tow truck, and it was $7.50 for this drink. I was not happy. I was not happy. But I drank that drink. I was licking the bottom of the cup like a dog.
Yeah, my wife loves Tim Hortons, and it's a $5 black coffee from Black. I'm like,
$5? You can buy almost a whole can for $5.
I can buy 24 K-cup for $5.
Real quick, in our health report for our new podcast. By the way, which I haven't said the name of our podcast the entire show. So Beyond the RC Grid podcast, we now have to have a dietary moment with RGB. Rick, how many calories were in my $7.50 fancy drink from the Dunkin'?
What's the description?
I was shaking for about 12 hours after I drank it. There was about 80 cups of sugar in it, some caramel, and some other stuff. So
They had 1,000 calories.
it was like drinking liquid cake.
It probably would have been healthier chewing on the cup.
Is it RGB approved?
Yeah, deserves a treat every once in a while.
Daily. All right, man. Well, I won't hold you guys up anymore.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man, it was cool. I don't know if you guys want to target Wednesdays. I don't know what you think.
Hey, I think everyone has a deal. I mean, a little too much.
Well, the one goal that we want to do is we want to try and do one live show a month. So whether we get together here or over at RGB or at the track or we rotate houses, I don't care, but we can. I got tables. We can.
Yeah, I think we should pick at the track. We'll do it live at the track. Yeah, since we rate oval, we can just go do an off-road, and either Eric can jump in and when he's not racing or whatever. But yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to bring like the heat winners on and have a quick rundown interview of the race.
All right, cool. All right, man. Well, we'll sort through it, and that's what this was all about. So,
Sounds good.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, have a good night.
Thank you.
Peace.